for a little bit. Uncle Iro, though, he might have something to say about it. Can you please put your hands together for Michaela Jill Murphy, Dante Bosco, and Greg Baldwin?
What's up, guys? We're kicking off the weekend here at Van Expo Boston. It feels early. It's not early, but it is early because we just got here.
I said, at least it's Friday.
Yeah.
We're starting off a weekend.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty excited.
Some people go to music festivals, some people go to sports games. We all come to Fan Expo.
Fan Expo.
Have you guys been to Boston before?
My first time ever.
Wait, it's your first time ever?
I understand the chowder is quite good here.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta get some Boston clam chowder.
I've been here for the Harvard Yale game many a time.
Oh.
I went to Yale, so I've been here as an enemy.
That's always fun.
Yes, it was very fun. So yeah, I'm used to being here as like a college student. That's what I remember a lot of Boston, and then business school friends. But yeah, not like casual. Now I get to do it for fun and not as like an adult and not as a teenager.
When I went back to my college, has anybody gone back to their college after you graduated? And then you go back, you feel really old, and you try looking for the places that you would hang out at. Are there any places that are special to you that you go and check out when you're here?
Oh gosh. Do I remember any of them?
You have too much fun there.
I remember the insides of people's dorm rooms. Like that's what I remember. I remember specific dorm rooms. I do not remember food. There were so many people. It was chaos. I don't remember, but I just remember food being really good here, weather being beautiful, and just architecture is pretty. Like yes, I love a good architecture walk. Anyway, Avatar.
Well, we're talking about what you remember, and obviously Avatar has been 20 years since Avatar came out. I'm sorry to throw that at you. It makes you feel old, I know. You still look young, don't worry. Nobody would confuse you for anything older than 21.
It's fine. Dante's 25.
Yeah, you look great. You look fabulous, all of you. But
Thank you for that.
most people don't remember that far back. I don't remember yesterday. Do you remember your first day on set and your last day on set? What was that like for you?
I don't remember that. Do you remember?
I remember because I was terrified. But yeah, I was scared. I was very scared. I was mainly what I was, when I was hired to do the voice. I mainly just worked at the Walt Disney Studios in Business and Legal Affairs, and got some voice work, but not a lot. Iro was the first really big thing. And I walked into the room with Dante Bosco, and Greg Elias, giants, So yeah, I was freaked out. I was actually the whole time we were recording. I was always on pins and needles going, oh no, I sound nothing like Marco. They're going to fire me any moment. This is terrible. So yeah, I wish I could say, oh, warm fuzzies, but I was terrified.
I remember my audition, which is basically the same thing as being there for the first day, because it was the Blind Bandit episode. That was the audition script.
So we were young.
Yeah, I was 11, which is crazy because I'm only 20. Anyway, that's how math works, right? And so I very vividly remember doing that script because my grandmother read the Boulder lines for my audition. She was like, "Who reads this other part?" And I'm like, "No one." She said, "Well, I'll be the Boulder."
So cute.
Okay. So that was my audition. So I remember that day, but I do remember our last day of filming very, very well. Because that was the first day when like everyone was all in one room. Normally it was just me and Jack or me and May, maybe me and you, maybe me and Azula, right? But that day there were like 10 of us. Every single mic had like a person, and like all of the creative team, and Mike and Brian, and everyone. Like my mom came and like watched.
Mark Hamill was there.
Mark Hamill was there. My mom was freaking out about that. So yeah, it was just a very full day, and I was like, whoa, this is different than every other session. So I just have like a little, it's like a visual picture of me just like sitting in the booth and seeing everyone around me.
I remember the audition. I was actually in the middle of doing a show called American Dragon Jake Long. Yeah, so I was working for Disney. I was working for the other place. Actually, me and Nate Whitmore were both doing that show, and then we talked about this other project that they were interested in us for, and then going over to Nickelodeon, and then giving me the artwork and the script and stuff like that. And I was, I just like looked at the picture. I was like, what is this? like bald, ponytailed, scar guy. I was like, this is weird. But I thought, well, hey, I'll be the villain on, I could be the hero on Disney, I'll be the villain on Nickelodeon. That's cool. Suddenly, I didn't even think it was going to make it to air because it just seemed so not Nickelodeon. And I was so wrong.
I mean, you were kind of a villain once before.
It's okay.
Rufio
Rufio
is definitely a villain.
I mean, bad boys turn good.
Yeah.
That's
Bad boys always have good at heart. I think there's always a little good in them. Greg, do you remember anything besides being scared? Do you remember the last day?
I definitely remember the last day, precisely because Mark Hamill was there. And he came in and sat next to me in the green room. And I remember my inner monologue at the time was, oh my God, it's Mark Hamill, man, is he sitting next to me? And you're a professional, you're professional. Okay, you don't say anything. Act like nobody's sitting next to you. Just don't say anything to him. So my MO was simply not to speak, address the fact that Luke Skywalker was sitting next to me. And he is famously such a nice person that he did come up to me after the recording session and said, that was nice work you did in there. Hi, we haven't met, I'm Mark. I was like, I know who you are, man. I'm sorry I didn't speak to you.
In true Toph form, I really don't remember him or care. I did not care. I didn't care. I was like, cool, another dude. My mom was like, it's Mark Hamill. I'm like, great.
There's another street.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. How you doing?
Now, I would say every single character in Avatar has such a deep, complicated backstory. It's a deep and amazing, and all of us in our lives have deep backstories. What can you relate to the most from your character? Any of you? Anybody can answer. It's a free for all.
It's water.
Wait, that's it.
I mean, yeah, and I think Zuko's heralded as like one of the greatest redemption arcs and this really great character, and I meet so many fans of Zuko. Yes, it's definitely my honor to get to play him. But when I went doing the podcast with Janet Varney, Brave the Elements, very unique experience that I kind of get to go back and watch the show as a fan all these years later. And as actors, a lot of us never really watch the things we do. The whole experience for us is doing the project. So it's very interesting to go back and look at it. But when I went back to look at it, I was remembering all the things I was going through in my own life and the trauma I was in. I was doing something that's very mirroring of what Zuko was going through as far as having, fights and a disconnect with an authority figure in your life. And those things I was very traumatized by while I was doing the character. So it was fascinating to see that, even though I didn't remember it clearly because I was living a lot of it, it's just that part of my life was very woven in with the DNA of what became Zuko's storyline. And so it's one of those right actors, right time kind of thing,
Yeah, I definitely. Your arc is just so cool. I feel like I learn something new about the show and about the characters every single time I watch it. And it's like I have grown up with it, like a lot of us probably did together. I was like, oh, I didn't catch that last time. That's cool. Toph and I feel like there's only so much acting one can really do. I feel like there are lots of parts of you that already exist in the character that you're cast for, and that's why it ends up working out. But being incredibly independent, incredibly stubborn, we definitely are like that on that. Learning to open up and rely on friends and trust people. We're figuring that out. Like, we've gotten a lot better, but definitely when I was younger, I kind of understood her little Kurt moments, especially with Katara at the beginning. And she's like, group activities, we're helping. And she's like, I carry my own weight, bye. And he's like, okay, hold on. So, yeah, I've learned a lot from her. I've learned a lot from Zuko, a lot from Katara too. Katara, like, growing into like her when she's mad, she's scary. Like, she's so nice, and then when she's mad, you're like, oh, like, oh no. Yeah, but Toph and I, yeah, we have a lot of similarities. I've learned lots of things from that tough little gal.
Now, Prince Zuko falls in love at one point with May. And I really thought that this was going to change him completely. Did you guys feel that way? Were you hoping that maybe love interest would kind of change his outlook on life?
I mean,
And if he did, do you think it would have been different?
I don't know. They moved in pretty hot, heavy, pretty fast. I was like, they're making out. What's going on? There was moments with Katara that we thought there was. I see some Sutara shippers in the house. I ship Sutara. People that follow me online know
All right.
I ship Sutara. But also, May, as I watch the show again, even though I'm a famous Sutara shipper, I admit that if May was in the club, I'm definitely hollering at May. For sure. With the bang, she's got such great style and she's just,
Oh yeah.
they have a great relationship. It did change it. The problem is he had his sister, you know.
That bratty sister.
That sister is just,
She was tough.
I love her and I hate her. Like, and he's dating his sister's friends. It's like, it's very sticky.
Oh, it does. That's a bad situation.
It's a bad
in real life, that's usually a bad situation.
I have a sister. I went nowhere near her friends.
I feel like it's different when you grow up in like, I don't know, you guys were like royals. And so like they were like the families are all close.
Yeah.
You all grow up together.
That's the
You
crazy
know?
thing about when I was watching Avatar again. It's like all the kids are kind of like royals. Like Toph and Zuko are definitely
Yeah,
rich kids.
absolutely.
And even though they're royal family, like the Bayfongs, and I don't even know what our last names are, but we wouldn't need last names. They're the Fire Nation royal family. I'm not sure what the king and queen and France, of England, like Prince William. I don't know their last names. Princess Di. I don't know her last name. So that's kind of like how the Fire Nation family is. But then even like Katara and Sokka, their dad is the chief of
Yeah.
the Southern Water, even though the Southern Water tribe's kind of the ghetto tribe of the water tribe. Because you go to the Northern Water tribe, like, damn, they're like balling up here.
Yeah, it's
The
very
Northern Water tribe was impressive. It took me a while with the Southern Water tribe. I was like, why is the Southern Water tribe just a village? Like, what's happening? But Michael Bryan said there's other areas of the Southern Water tribe that's a little more impressive than
Also, there was a war.
the war.
It was just a small little
There's a war.
big war.
We're sorry.
Are you?
We are sorry about that.
We apologize.
We apologize. It wasn't us.
Wasn't us person.
We were involved, but it wasn't really us.
Did you guys ever have an Uncle Iroh in your life giving you advice or helping you out? Is there somebody that you look up to, a mentor?
For me, probably, I think my grandmother. I grew up in Texas, and I was the first, from a family from Texas. Everyone had been football players, etc. They had no idea where this theater kid came from. And my grandmother, Mom Hamilton, was her name. She always believed in me. It was always, you know what, Greg, you go ahead. If you want to, you can do it. You can go ahead. And just always was behind me. And I like my parents or my grandparents didn't live long enough to see all of the cool things that have happened to me in my twilight years. But I think maybe they do. So, hi, me, Mom. I'm giving you a shout out right now.
Hey,
She's still hyping you up.
love that. I'm recently become a father.
Yes, that's right. Newly father.
So, now we all aspire to be Uncle Iroh for sure. I think about Iroh every day and like, what would Iroh do, kind of thing.
Oh, so do I. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I grew up as a kid actor on sets, and since I was very young, and I've been very fortunate that a lot of these elder actors have been very Uncle Iroh to me. You know what I'm saying? Took me under the wings. We had all these great moments from Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams. Thank you. Yeah, he rest in peace to Dustin Hoffman, to cats like Antonio Banderas. I'm like, because I've always been a kid on the set that really revered acting and actors, and I would show up on my days off to watch the greats work and act, and I'd read their biographies and I'd watch their movies, and we'd have conversations about this craft that we do of acting and filmmaking, and directors too. Steven Spielberg, when I was just sitting on the set, they all had like moments of Uncle Iroh just kind of bestowing knowledge and just to go like, I'm following in your guys' footsteps. So it's really cool. And now as I'm becoming an elder statesman, as it would be, I have a big birthday coming up this month. It's like all these younger actors that are coming to that I get to work with now, look at me and ask for advice. Okay, don't do that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, big birthday. You're turning 30, right?
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very exciting. I also grew up acting and traveling around a lot. It was just my mom and me. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Southern Indiana, so yeehaw. And my mom and I drove in a U-Haul across the country when I was 4 years old. And then I was like, "Hey, Mom, this acting thing." And she was like, "Sure." And so she's definitely been like my home. I guess when you move a lot, we've moved like 27 times. And so when you move around that much, it's like people become home and like feelings become home and music become home. So music, huge. I started in speaking of theater as well, Mr. Greg. Phantom of the Opera, Wicked, Cats. I know Cats. There's a love-or-hate relationship with that, but yes, the original West End cast on VHS. I wore out that tape so much. Yeah, so music and my mom really kind of became my Uncle Ira.
Home is where your heart is. It really isn't a place. It's wherever you are, you know. What would your guys' band name be if you guys were in a band?
Us three?
Yep.
Oh,
I had a band growing up with my brothers. We were the Fly Brown Dragons.
I like it.
we're just Earth, Fire, and Fire.
Earth, Fire.
We just take out the wind.
Would be like two firebenders and the goat.
T.
T.
T. Just exclamation point. T. Exclamation point.
Oh no, those
Hot Rocks. Hot Rock.
Ooh, hot rock.
Hot
Is that a genre of music? Hot rock. I don't know. I gotta think of that.
I like those. Those are good ideas. I have a ton of fan submitted questions.
Okay, let's
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Eve from Calgary asks, do you think Aang, post-Fire Lord, would have been able to handle all the villains Korra faced?
Yeah.
Of course you know that, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. No.
No way.
Yeah. Also with the whole team. Yeah.
I mean, the villains at
Amon's-
Korra face are pretty heavy.
Amon is a whole other
Amon is,
layered situation.
and
So,
a lot of them. I'm only like 2 seasons in for Brave the Elements. It's a lot of waterbenders acting shady.
yeah.
Shady in Korra. A lot of hate for the Fire Nation with the first Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I felt some type of way about everyone feeling some type of way about the Fire Nation until we got to Korra, and I'm like, look at these shady waterbenders. They're doing all kinds of stuff. We had 100-year war, but someone was trying to do it. 10,000 years of darkness. 10,000 years?
For what?
That's crazy. But I think Aang is Korra. They are the same person.
They are.
So of course,
Different iterations.
different iterations.
Yes.
He'd be able to handle it, I
He
think.
could. I think once he really learned and embraced his skills, he could surpass
Right.
all of them.
I mean, that's the thing
He
about
all of them inside him.
life is like it's so cyclical in each generation. Like there are certain things that like so many people learn as a group, but then you move on, and then the next generation has to kind of relearn that. So it just keeps going. I feel like
But if you fail, what happens if you fail? What happens if you fail? Like the Avatar has to succeed. If it fails, we're done.
yeah, I mean,
Then like the Fire
I
Nation
guess
takes
we'll
over
see
for
it
100 years.
next year. I don't know.
Jamie from California wants to know, Zuko's redemption arc is literally the best character development she's ever seen. What moment do you think was the real turning point where he finally understood what his uncle had been trying to teach him the whole time?
I have a lot of.
I have a theory.
What do you think?
I mean,
What's your theory?
I think the moment when he has the courage to go into that tent and say, "I'm sorry."
To Uncle Ira.
Uncle Ira.
I mean that hug around the world is intense. For me as an actor, Zuko changed to me when I found out how he got his scar. And I was like, oh, what? That's crazy. That was like a whole crazy moment for me. But then when I rewatched it, Firebending Masters when he met the dragons, and he's just like, I understand. Like there was a magical. I mean, I think we all wish for a little clarity in our life. I mean, yes, dragons and rainbow flames. If you should meet dragons
Don't
and they
want to?
speak to you with rainbow fire, then we would all have that clarity. But it was nice to like, they didn't overwrite it, didn't write anything. Like we don't 100% understand what he understands, but he understands. We understand, he understands, we all understand. Should we all meet twin dragons sometime in our life and be surrounded with rainbow fire?
Lily, who's from Boston, wants to know, Toph is such a queen, inventing metal bending while becoming completely blind. Do you think her blindness actually made her a stronger bender than she would have been otherwise?
Hell yeah! Are you kidding me? One of the best things about her is, I mean, there's so many things. I think you can. I only appreciated her as much as I could as a 12, 13-year-old. But as I've gotten older, I didn't realize that there weren't a ton of like badass tomboy, rough kind of tough like gals. I didn't have cable growing up, so I was just like, oh, she's cool. There's tons of girls like this on TV, like whatever. And I just had no idea. And then so many people have come up to me and been like, she was the first character I really resonated with, just because she was a little different than like a normal girl. And any type of disability. They're like, this is the first character that it's like made her the absolute powerhouse that she is. And she doesn't shy away from it. She jokes about it. She's constantly talking about it and like making fun of it, and no one's like tiptoeing around it as if it's like something you can't talk about. And I was like, dang, that didn't exist. I'm sorry. I'm glad that it does now.
Yeah, it does now. That's a great part.
Cool. Yeah, but absolutely. She would not be the greatest earthbender in the world if she had normal sight. I mean, that's why, when Aang, before she, finally they meet each other, he's like, I have to find somebody who listens. Like, that's what his guidance is. And I think that's another lesson that I've learned from Toph. It's like sometimes you have to just wait, just let something come to you, feel it out, listen for a second, and then move. And she's really good at that in bending. Maybe not in life,
Yes.
but in bending.
Because you're right, she's a little stubborn.
Just a little.
Just a little. Dr. I hope I'm saying this right. Dr. Way from Cambridge wants to know, Doctor, the philosophical depth of Iroh's character draws heavily from Eastern wisdom traditions. His famous quote about destiny being a path you choose rather than something forced upon you seems particularly relevant to Zuko's journey. How do you interpret this relationship between choice and destiny in the show? It's a lot.
It's a light
That
question.
is a lot.
It's a
Well,
Dr.
question.
Way.
Yeah, well, destiny is a funny thing. You never know how things. I don't know. I mean, a lot of life, I think, is that we do have destinies, but we also have the choice to change our destiny. I was talking to a fan last week in Tampa, and I thought, wow, mind blown. I never thought about it before, about destiny. If Liu Kang had not died, as sad as it was, obviously with the iconic moment of Leaves from the Vine, but it's entirely possible Zuko would not have had a redemption arc, Iroh would not have had a redemption arc, Iroh would have become the Fire Lord and continued the war. So, destiny is a funny thing. It is a funny thing. Liu Kang dying actually turned out to be a very good thing for the world, and actually even for Iroh's growth himself.
Destiny's crazy. I mean, like, we're all Avatar fans, right? This is this whole show and the fandom and the community that goes around the world. Like, COVID happened, right? Avatar was one thing before COVID, and the whole generation had it, and it was very popular. And then we got locked down, and then Netflix happened, and there had never been like streaming in the history of the world before. And then we were going through this thing that Avatar really touched and was very poignant, and then the whole world watched Avatar again. And then a show that we had done for 15 years. This never happened before in Hollywood, never happened in the world. That there was a new service, a new TV streaming service, right? Destiny. And then we're locked down in COVID, and then it became the #1 show in the world 15 years after we made it. And matter of fact, it's ironic because I just remember coming, my first Comic-Con back from COVID was in Boston, and it was so crazy packed. And I had just come off the #1 show in the world. It's, again, like, we're all a part of this destiny that we talk about, this strange thing. Like, the fact that we're all here celebrating. We would not have a 20-year anniversary celebration if it wasn't for probably COVID.
You know what? I believe you're right. I mean, the show pre-COVID and post-COVID,
Was
two
two
different
different
animals.
animals,
Yeah.
It was always going to be beloved by a certain generation, but now it's beloved by like
And now it's like Beatlemania.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something huge. You know?
it's now it's gave its legs to grow into the movie and the new show Seven Havens and Avatar Studios. That all happened because of you guys during COVID. It's crazy.
And parents showing their kids, and
Yeah.
that's just going to keep going down and down and passed upon all those generations who will continue to love Avatar. And hopefully we'll see more and more of it in the next few years. This is Jordan from New Albany who wants to know, I just binged the whole series last month and they're obsessed. If Toph and Zuko had a bending battle, who do you think would win and why?
Bending battle. Usually people ask what we do for our life-changing
Adventure, the
But
battle.
Oh no.
Zuko's a lover, not a fighter.
I'm a fighter.
He doesn't want to fight his friends. He's probably. I mean, she's the goat.
It depends though, because you burned my feet. But that's when I trusted you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I were to meet you like in season 2, would we meet you before I started trusting you?
I've come to the
I don't know. I'm not
realization and acceptance, like you're the goat. You know what I'm saying? Azula, my little sister's like
crazy.
a prodigy. I mean, Zuko, like, don't get it twisted. Zuko's a good firebender. He's just not like, all time. His father's Ozai, probably top. I don't know. I'm in a family of like all time firebenders.
I feel like as
I'm not that guy
I know.
necessarily.
You also were like a little crazy. You were a little like
I'm bending
in
from
season
love.
2.
Like, I'm no longer firebending
Right,
from
right,
hate. I'm
exactly.
firebending from love.
So now
So I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't have lightning. It's all good.
I think if I could escape being burned by you, if we were fighting
Right.
in season 2, I think I could beat you. But if you somehow burned my feet, I'm
I
sorry.
would never fight you because we're homies.
Now we are. I'm talking about before you liked us and you were still hunting the Avatar.
That's the old me. That guy's dead.
I love that they're fighting right now.
Honestly, I think Toph could take Iroh, actually. You know?
I'm Tom is the greatest of all
Yeah,
time. You can probably take
Toph
most
could probably
people.
take Iroh.
No, Toph is pretty amazing. She's pretty great. I really think she could cover Zuko up with some dirt and he'd be put out.
But could Toph take Darth Vader? We had this discussion.
Yeah, what happens when you add the Force into the mix?
You guys really do have the Force.
Yeah,
It really is. Mike from Pittsburgh wants to know the relationship between Iroh and Zuko reminds him of teaching his own grandchildren life lessons. What do you think was Iroh's most important teaching moment with Zuko?
I think probably the most important thing that he teaches Zuko is over the arc of their relationship, and that is if everyone is capable of change. You are not defined by your past. Everybody can rise above that, you know. And I had this crazy thought several years ago. I was watching the Tom Hanks movie about Mr. Rogers, and the thought occurred to me that Iroh, in many ways, is Mr. Rogers for another generation, because the lessons are very much essentially the same. You know, everyone is capable of change. You don't have to be defined by your choices in the past. And above all else, and this is the lesson of Iroh, and I think maybe one of the reasons why Iroh resonates in the times in which we find ourselves, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind.
I love that. That's a lesson a lot of people can learn in our world today, is be kind. You don't always have to say what's on your mind. You can keep it to yourself sometimes. Elena from Southbridge wants to know, I've drawn Zuko's scar like 1,000 times in her sketchbook. Do you think his scar was ultimately a symbol of shame or strength by the end of the series?
Strength. I mean, this is strength, I think, for sure. When the Zutara thing was happening and in the cave and everything, she had that special water, and I thought she was gonna heal his scar. I was like, shit, she healed it. I thought we all thought he was gonna heal his scar. But I remember talking to Mike and Brian, and they were like, well, sometimes it's not about healing your scar, it's about learning to live with your scars. There's like a beauty and the strength in the life that we've lived. We're all gonna have scars.
Sometimes you're not visible.
Yeah, whether you see them or not. It's not always about trying to cover those scars up. And there's a badge of honor in the scars that we have, like learning to live with that. So I kind of think it's strength.
I love that woo. Go ahead. You can woo. Whoever wooed, I heard it. Tyler from Amherst wants to know, Toph's earthbending stance is actually based on two-bar Southern praying mantis kung fu. As someone who practices martial arts, they're curious, which character's bending style do you think would be most difficult to master in real life? And then my added bonus is, which element would you like to master?
Fire, mission. Right?
There's so many different like sub bending styles and like little niche martial art. They just did research. Part of the reason the show is so good, they just did a lot of research because they actually cared. And they're like, we want to make this really cool. Let's like find this specific style and have somebody come like choreograph it for us to animate, which is so cool. I'm kind of a mix of earth and fire in real life. I think I'd be a lava bender. If I have to pick a sub,
That's cool.
but whose would be the most difficult? I mean, Tops is very specific. I've only danced. I haven't done specifically martial arts stuff in my life. I'm hoping to maybe change that soon, just because I feel like there's so much around it now. So hers is very specific, but I feel like I don't know, like the lightning bending stuff. I feel like it's very like a lot of. And when you guys do like your the fire bending dance with the
They're all.
I don't know.
The earth bending is strong, the fire bending is strong. All that is, and that's clay chung. It's different things that we're learning. The hardest thing always is the thing that you think is not that effective, which is airbending, which is Tai Chi.
That's true.
Tai Chi is like us old men art. No one does it, but they're like, no, like that's the most powerful art. It just takes so long to learn. It looks like you're doing nothing, and so it's a lifetime of practice that for it to actually work, you have to be like a master. But the rest of them like, I have no time to learn how to do that. I need to be able to kick somebody right now. They're like, no, you can do that in 50 years. Like, I don't have time for that. So the hardest is really Tai Chi, for sure.
But you know what? I was just thinking about fire. There's an inherent danger in it. You know, the fire can burn you. The water just can get you wet. You know, right? The fire, though, I would imagine as you're learning the fire bend, there is a certain danger to yourself when you do that, just because you're literally playing with fire.
Destruction, but creation also. Both sides,
Both
okay.
sides, man.
There's good folks in the Fire Nation.
In all things, balance, my nephew.
Balance, yes.
I would say air would be scary too. What if you like put a gust underneath yourself and then you don't catch yourself if you're up in the sky and you fall? It'd be terrifying. Yeah. We only have a few minutes left, but I want to ask you guys just some questions. Before I get to that, one last question is, where do you think your character would be today? If we were to check in on them today, where would Toph be? What would Toph be doing? What would Ritsuko be doing? Would he be in love? You know, would he have decided to stay solo? Maybe him and Toph got together. That would be a fun
I don't think so. Even though I'm sure I had a crush on him for 2 seconds, because I had a crush on everyone for 2 seconds. I mean, we have the adult Aang movie coming out next
We'll
year,
see when
so
it comes out.
we'll probably see, which is exciting. 20 years, I know, we finally get to see them when they're grown up. 20 years, oh my gosh, well, because I was her age, so she would be my age right now. I mean, we see a little bit of it for her. Clearly, I had 2 children. We don't necessarily know with who, but she had 2 kids. I'd like to think that if it was like real life, I'd like to think hopefully she'd be a bit more of a gentle parent than maybe she ended up being in Korra. I'm striving to be a bit more of a gentle parent to your dog. Yeah, to my dog and my future children. And don't know where my husband is, but one day he's out there somewhere. I won't be able to see him. I'm just kidding. Sorry, bad jokes. So yeah, I'd like to think that she's pretty much doing what she's doing in Korra, but maybe if it was in real life, she'd learn to be a little more gentle with her children and her friends.
I think that her friends do soften her up, and she does open up and learns a lot throughout the series of trying to become trusting of others. I think that she has just a big wall up, and she lowers it little by little. Yeah.
You know, being Fire Lord's a full-time job.
I know.
It's a full-time
That's right.
job. Plus, we gotta like try to have all these reparations for all the past stuff we did wrong, and we apologize for that. So there's a lot of work to be doing.
We're sorry.
We
We're
made
very
a public city, but I think Zuko today, if he doesn't stay with May, which I heard he also has a grandson that I voiced, so he had something going on. I feel like if he didn't stay with May, he might have to go find where Jin was at, the girl he dated in Boston said. He's like, where's Jin? I often wonder about Jin. What's crazy at Comic Con we released a lot in San Diego Comic Con. They released a lot of things, including that maybe people didn't see that were there. It said they're releasing a book on Jin.
Yeah, she gets her own.
She gets her own book, so we get to find out what maybe it's Zuko did go
Maybe.
find her.
Maybe. Bachelor trip.
I always
Right
thought
across Jin.
it was like such a good date.
It was a good date.
Like, what do you do? One good date? I mean, under false pretenses, like I wasn't telling her who I was, but it was still cool, like to feel each other just on a person, like the essence, not knowing I was a rich kid. You know what I'm saying? But I have a scar. Like, how do you have that scar?
Not many.
I don't know. Uncle is in the spirit world.
Uncle's in the spirit world, man. If Uncle, though, I was just thinking about, okay, if Uncle were in this world, living in our world, what would he be doing now? Circling back to my Mr. Rogers illusion, I think at one time he was a beloved children's TV host. But there's a little bit of hippie in him, and so now he's running a dispensary in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. If you guys were stuck in an episode on loop, which episode would you pick?
Probably.
Do you remember?
The
There's
beach.
a lot of them.
I'd be up in the beach.
We got some beach fans.
I mean, you're chilling at the beach.
Bossing Stay is so fun.
Bossing
and then
Stay
you
is
get
good.
different stories.
Tales of Bossing Stay is great.
You cry, you laugh, you're angry.
The beach.
Yeah. I figured out how to stand it. That's the important part.
Hey, you know,
Got that
honestly,
figured
the show, I don't think there's ever been a series finale as perfect as the Avatar series finale. In fact, I think if only the Game of Thrones writers had just
But a watch Avatar.
And I read an article that not only the series finale, they said each book had like the perfect ending for each book. Like no one's like 10 out of 10 3 times in a row. Like having that
All right, fun questions.
question.
Fun questions. What is the last song you listened to?
Midnight Sun by Zara Larson.
Zara Larson.
Yeah, Zara Larson.
In the city, he's probably you come. It's a Justin Bieber song. You never that new song by Justin Bieber? In the city, I used to drive a Yukon. If you go between Yukon.
This is a Justin. Oh, the new one.
The new one,
album.
yeah.
Yes. I was like, is this from?
It's called Yukon.
Yeah, it's called Yukon. Oh, that's the song you listen to. Do you like the new album?
Just that song.
You don't like Daisy?
It's alright. I like that song.
Okay.
all I know is Pink Pony Club plays continuously in my head. Never.
That was the biggest song at when I DJ'd that set.
Oh, once it's in your head, it stays there forever. But I am a little bit of a nerd, and I listened to it in my room this morning. I like to tailor-make my music to where I'm at.
Oh,
So
nice.
I listened to Making Your Day in the World Today takes everything you got, you know.
Is that Austin? It's Cheers. Oh, it's
Yeah,
Cheers,
it's
right.
us with that. I was in. I was ready.
Sometimes you gotta go where everybody knows your name.
If you were to add or change something on your Wikipedia page, what would it be? Have you even read your Wikipedia pages?
It's been a second. I don't know if
I don't know. I don't know what's on there.
What would you put on there? What would be your one-liner?
He's 6 foot.
That's funny.
I weigh 100 pounds.
I don't know how that worked.
I don't know. I'd probably put something. I don't know. I post like a lot of silly goose things on my Instagram page, Look at my story.
If you are not following Michaela's Instagram, please do. I am
A little chaotic.
so entertained by it, honestly. She makes a lot of reels of everywhere she goes, so you can kind of follow along with what she's doing and like a little insight into her life. One of your friends, I follow a lot of her reels and stuff, and then I saw her on your page, and I was like, wait, they're friends? Like, this is amazing.
Stormy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, so, I mean, for real, like, check her out. I was like,
But I like to. I don't know what it is with me and geese. It's been a thing. Like since like middle school, I just like it's silly goose. I don't know. There was that sound for a while that was like, she's not for the streets, she's for the pond because she's a silly goose. And I was like, that's yes. So on my Wikipedia page, I went and put like certified silly goose. That would be so 6 foot silly goose. What are we adding to your Wikipedia page?
Actually, that's what I would like to take out of it.
Okay.
That's what I would like to. Yes, I Google myself quite a lot. I'm sorry to say. I was brief. Sometimes I forget I just think I'm a guy and I can say whatever I want and no one's going to pay any attention to it. And I was just musing on the site formerly known as Twitter, talking about politics and how I would like to start a White Lotus party, which incorporates wisdom from all different sources. But I was just mouthing off. And that's in my Wikipedia. She is considering forming the White Lotus Party in 2020. No, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
It
do
was
that.
an actual party
Yeah.
that's going to be at this club.
That's what I'm talking about. For your birthday, we'll have a White Lotus
At the
Party.
dispensary in Portland, Oregon.
I'm down, invite me. Last one. Out of any fandom at all, what special ability would you love to have? Would you love to fly, teleport, super
Teleport.
speed?
It's teleport. It's Nightcrawler from Expo. Teleportation is that's the move.
Time travel, baby.
Time bending.
See,
Yeah.
here's the thing
Yeah.
though.
Time bending would be good too
Time
in the future.
bending would be cool, but it gets dangerous. We learned from Hermione, did we not? Like it could be very dangerous.
It'd be
So
very dangerous.
I want to say that, but I think I'm just gonna keep it simple and I love flying. I do flying
Flying?
hobbies. Yeah, I know it's
Flying
it's
is
simple,
cool, but like I don't like being cold.
well, wear a jacket.
And some goggles in case those bugs
Yes.
start flying.
Yes. Ideally, if I could have little like shield things for my eyes that just go shing as soon as I start flying, that would be
I
dope.
love flying. Concept. I ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
It gets
I
cold.
know.
In the rain.
And you're like, this is crazy. Why am I? This is too cold.
Maybe I don't know.
But flying
It's
is fun.
fun. It's fun.
Teleportation. You just go there. You don't have to fly. You just like we're there.
Flying, it's about the journey, Don.
Journey's
It's not
cool.
just the destination.
I'm exhausted.
You did just have a child, so this makes sense.
This
You're
is
like, let's just get there.
That's what happens. Once those kids happen, you get very tired. Hopefully you guys aren't tired because it's still day one and you have 2 more days to
Let's
go.
go.
But hopefully this journey has been amazing for you. Can you please give it up? Avatar The Last Airbender cast. Don't take my sound, right?